Welcome gamers, legends, and pixel warriors to the final Gamer Chronicles episode of 2024. Can you believe we've made it through another year of incredible games, wild controversies, jaw-dropping graphics, and more plot twists than an RPG boss battle? I mean, who had Snoop Dogg presenting at the Game Awards on their bingo card this year? Because I sure didn't. This year has been a whirlwind of adventures. We've raided temples with Indiana Jones, uncovered scandals in the gaming industry, and even questioned if Geralt of Rivia's knees can handle his 60s better than ours. Spoiler alert, they absolutely can. We've laughed, we've raged, and maybe cried a little. Or maybe a lot, especially in Baldur's Gate. But today's show isn't just about looking back. Oh no, my friends. We're wrapping up 2024 in true Gamer Chronicles style, with the hottest news, the biggest debates, and because I'm feeling festive, a sprinkle of gaming humor to see you into the new year. So whether you're grinding XP, queuing for a raid, or just chilling with some hot cocoa, just sit back and let's dive into it. This is Gamer Chronicles. Welcome to the podcast where pixels tell stories and gamers become legends. Let's roll the dice one last time this year. So, not too much news to close the year, but still got a few here. So we'll start off with Witcher 4's trailer. I'm just going to say, incredible. Looks incredible, and has Ciri as the main protagonist, and I cannot wait for Witcher 4. It looks great. I'm talking about that because our story is about Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher monster slayer, and old dude. Now, we all wanted to guess his age, but in a twist that's shaking Witcher fandom harder than roach on a roof, I'm going to fuck up his name, but Andrzej Sapkowski, the writer of, I was going to say Geralt of Rivia, but the writer of the Witcher series, which happens to have Geralt in it. In The Witcher 3, Geralt is 61 years old. Our beloved, grumpy, gravelly-voiced monster hunter is officially in his discounted bus pass territory. And by the time he's gallivanting around Toussaint in the Blood of Wine expansion, he is 64. So let's take a moment to appreciate this, that Geralt is out there swinging swords, battling Leshens, and charming sorceresses, right? Who are hot, while most of us are struggling to get out of bed without sounding like a broken accordion. And for reference, now, Henry Cavill's portrayal in the Netflix The Witcher, if you map this timeline, Geralt was only 20 years old during the Blaviken massacre. Imagine being a fresh-faced lad and already earning the title Butcher. Cavill's shredded physique for that role, not exactly fresh out of adolescence vibes. Sapkowski, you sneaky genius. But the guy could have said any age, and he chose that he's 64. I don't know how long Witchers live, I can't remember, so I don't think that's old for a Witcher anyway. But 64. Strange, which meant that he became the Butcher basically as soon as he got turned into a Witcher. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see that story. Right, next, Assassin's Creed Shadows. You gotta go fast. Ubisoft's newest assassin, Naoe, is here to put all the other sneaky stabby folks to shame. Dubbed the fastest assassin ever, she's basically the Sonic the Hedgehog of the Assassin's Creed universe. She even has a Naruto run. You know, arms flailing backwards like a middle school kid at Comic-Con. I cannot wait. Remember when everyone was doing it during COVID as a joke, just putting their arms behind their backs and it was a whole thing? Why? It doesn't make fucking sense. But anyway, set in feudal Japan during the Sengoku period, Shadows introduced Neo alongside Yasuke, a samurai who doesn't need stealth because he's too busy smashing faces. With a release date of February 14th, 2025, Valentine's Day, so that's gonna fucking suck for me, because Games, wife. game wife. One gives me great joy. The other, if I don't entertain it, will give me great despair. So, balance. I really hope she doesn't listen to this episode. But who needs Valentine's Day when you can have ninjas? And let's be honest, dodging love arrows for some ninja action sounds pretty appealing. Just not the consequences after. So fuck you, Ubisoft. Total War blood packs are dead. Long live mods. And now, when I say they're dead, this is in a good way. Creative Assembly has finally decided to stop charging us for the blood. I know why they used to do it, because it would change the rating for the game from a 16 to an 18. But everyone now who plays Total War games is over 18. So yes, you heard that right. The infamous Blood Pack DLC, which made Total War games more gruesome, are now a thing of the past. Blood and gore will be baked into the game, so no more shelling out extra cash to see your armies turn the battlefield into a Jackson Pollock painting. Also, the launcher is dead. So good riddance to that shit, because I absolutely hate launchers. It was more irritating than a mosquito in your bedroom at 3 in the morning. And the move to make fans actually smile for once, they're scrapping those ridiculous early adopter DLC factions. So there's no more paying extra to play as the cool guys just because you pre-ordered. So it looks like fan backlash is working. Creative Assembly seem to actually be listening, and let's hope their next game is epic, because it's been a long time since they've released a good Total War game. I mean normal Total War game, not a Warhammer one. So the Game Awards 2024. Give a big shout out to Astrobot, who won big. So move over Kratos, step aside Mario, Astrobot yeeted you all into the background and snagged Game of the Year. That's right, a cute little robotic hero from Team Asobi dominated the competition, even beating out Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Somewhere an Elden Ring boss just fell to its knees and sobbed. And I get that there was a huge thing about the Wu-Tang game as well, but I don't think people realize Astrobot is for everyone. All audiences everywhere. Whereas these other games that were in it are for 16 plus, 18 plus, and they're not for families. Astrobot is for everyone, and it is a great game. Does it deserve to win Game of the Year? Of course, in my opinion, it does not, because it's not my kind of game. I would have picked probably Indiana Jones, but again, broader spectrum, I can see why it appeals to the greater audience. But the night wasn't just about the game. Snoop Dogg rolled up to present the best ongoing game award to Helldivers 2. Absolutely deserves it. Brilliant game. And he was dropping beats and vibes like it was a Friday night. Oh, and Harrison Ford, of course, decided to remind us all he's still cooler than us by showing up alongside Troy Baker to talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. To be fair, he could read ingredients off a cereal box and still sound badass. And of course, Naughty Dog gave us a new project, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. And all we know is that it's sci-fi, and if it's anything like The Last of Us, we're going to cry, rage, and fall in love all over again. So fingers crossed. Generally, they make good games, so looking forward to that. So what more could you ask for? Because we've got ninjas, monsters, robots, and Snoop Dogg. The gaming world has never been wilder. And honestly, we're here for every ridiculous, bloody, and slightly unhinged second of it. And now, into Indie's new era. Ladies and gentlemen, gamers and whip enthusiasts alike, we're diving deep into Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This isn't just another game, it's a modern masterpiece that brings the classic adventurer into the 21st century. So this title combines jaw-dropping visuals, intricate puzzles, and a narrative so compelling it feels like Spielberg himself might have taken the director's chair. So grab your fedora, tighten your belt, and make sure your PC isn't about to explode. It's also on the Xbox, because we're about to dissect every corner of this adventure one ancient artifact at a time. So let's start off with the gameplay mechanics. So in Indy's toolbox, he's got his whip, which is the star of the show, serving as a multifunctional instrument for combat, traversal, and puzzle solving. Swinging across chasms feels fluid and cinematic, because when you swing across things, you usually go from first person to third person, and the transition is seamless. First to third, back to first again, and it's just a nice seamless transition between all three. While you can also use the whip to disarm enemies or trigger hidden levers, which adds depth to the gameplay. But the whip isn't alone. You've got grappling hooks for climbing sheer cliffs and a trusty flashlight to reveal hidden hieroglyphics and passageways. There's even a notebook system where Indy sketches symbols, notes, clues, and draws maps as you explore. It's exactly like being in the movie. So the combat is a mix of old school brawling, and there is some gunplay, but it's mostly melee and stealth. Because, for instance, you can grab an artifact off a pedestal, smash it over an enemy's head for a quick takedown. Guns are powerful, but rare, forcing you to save ammo for big moments or tougher enemies. So for me, when I was doing the first mission, the first area, I was being stealthy, I was batting people over the head, I was being a good Indiana Jones. And then when I got to the next one, I was like, oh, fuck this. I cannot be sneaky for this. I want to just blitz through. So I ended up just shooting a few Nazis, stealing their rifles, shooting a few more, and basically just piling the bodies up. And the only issue I have with this is that when you've gone from one segment to another in the same place, so let's say you've done something and then suddenly another area opens up, the guards reset, which is so annoying after you've gone through all that. But other than that, the AI isn't dumb because the enemies will try and flank you, they'll call for reinforcements, and sometimes they'll run away if they feel that they're outmatched. It keeps combat feeling fresh and engaging. But if they come at you with guns, you will die, because you cannot take that many shots before you die. But the brawling, the melee combat is fun, and it's a lot of fun. And of course, where would Indy be without puzzles? So, the Great Circle doesn't hold your hand, and some of these brain teasers are no joke. From aligning beams of light to reflect ancient symbols, to deciphering cryptic languages scrawled on temple walls. The puzzles will make you scratch your head, but in a good way. So like one standout involves navigating a series of spinning platforms over a pit of lava, where timing and logic are crucial. Another has you rearranging murals to tell you the story of the Great Circle origins. They are challenging, but you do get a series of accomplishments after solving them, as it's incredibly satisfying. Plus, Indy's sarcastic quips when you fail help take the edge off. So graphics. The game is a PC killer, and that goes for almost any PC out there, because it's one thing that the Great Circle does better than almost any game out there. It's visuals. Machine Games went all out on this. They did a Cyberpunk 2077. So if you have an RTX enabled card, there is no option to turn ray tracing off. It is on out of the box, meaning reflections, lighting, and shadows look so real you might forget you're playing a game. Sunlight filtering through jungle canopies, flickering torches casting dynamic shadows in ancient tombs, it's all breathtaking. But that's not what kills your PC, because there are next level graphic options, such as light tracing and ray trace shadows, which makes the game's visuals incredible, with light bouncing off surfaces in ways that mimic reality. Shadows aren't just static blobs, they're dynamic, reacting to multiple light sources in real time. But of course, here's the kicker. If you're not rocking an NVIDIA RTX 5000 series card, which you are not yet because they're not out yet, and even a 4090 would likely struggle with this. I've got a 4070 Ti, which I know is not the top card, but I did get a frame rate of about 30 frames a second. So you might get your 60 with a 4090, but with that all off, even with the DLSS off and frame generation off, I'm getting a constant at least 100 to 120 frames a second. So it shows you how much demand this puts on that card. So unfortunately, those options are for future cards. Or if you're very rich and can buy the super duper 4090 with insane amount of RAM. But now, of course, the story. Why we love him. So your first big stop is Vatican City, because apparently Indy's idea of a relaxing getaway is sneaking into the holiest place on earth to hunt down a thief who made off with an artifact, which was the cat mummy. It's all very sacrilegious, but who cares? When you've got Nazis hot on your heels and an underground fight club to find. And yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. It got the shit beaten out of me a few times. There is a fight club under the Vatican. The city itself is a sprawling interconnected maze where you can explore rooftops, tunnels, and hidden chambers. It's open world in the sense that you're free to wander, but let's be real, you spend most of your time getting lost and swearing at the map, which happened to me so many times. So you can be a priest, and you can also find a Nazi uniform, but you don't know where that Nazi uniform is. I just found it by random. And there's a lot to it. It's basically just an exploration game, and it is fun. That bit is fun. That bit they've done so well. It is an exploration game. It is not a combat game, although the fight scenes are fun. But of course, as the story unfolds, Indy discovers that the Great Circle isn't just an artifact, it's a weapon or maybe a power source. Honestly, no one is quite sure, but it's definitely something that bad guys shouldn't have. Speaking of bad guys, the villain here is pure cartoon level evil. Think twirly mustache, overly dramatic monologues, and the kind of accent that makes you want to punch him through the screen. But for every high-stakes moment, there's a side quest that makes you question your life choices. Missing cat posters, underground fight clubs. Who wrote this and why did they think Indy needed a break to find Mr. Fluffykins? And that's not a joke, you literally have to go around photographing cats. The game's big open world moment happens in the Sahara Desert. The Vatican was big and open. The Sahara Desert is something else. It's massive, beautiful, and a complete pain in the ass to navigate. You're dodging sandstorms, fighting mercenaries, and trying not to get eaten by local wildlife. There's even a sequence where you have to escape a sinking sandpit while solving a puzzle. It's tense, frustrating, and will probably leave you yelling, why the fuck did I want to do this, and why did I think it was a good idea? And by the time you reach the lost city of Hyperion, you're tired, pissed off, and probably running low on ammo. Perfect timing for the game to throw in ancient guardians, giant glowing robots that look like they came out of a sci-fi fever dream. The final showdown involves solving one last convoluted puzzle while being chased by the villain, her goons, and the temple itself, which is collapsing for dramatic effect. So my final thoughts? A wild ride worth the bruises. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is chaotic, frustrating, and absolutely brilliant. It nails the indie vibe with its mix of high-stakes action, ridiculous puzzles, and a story that feels straight out of the movies. Sure, some of the side quests feel like padding. Looking at you, missing cats. And the open world bits can be a bit much, but who cares when the rest of the game is this much fun? So grab your whip, prepare to swear like a sailor, and dive into the adventure of a lifetime. And that's it, folks. It's the final Gamer Chronicles episode 2024. What a year it's been. We battled our way through temples, fought Nazis with indies, debated the morality of ray tracing that melts PCs, and spent far too much time solving puzzles that made us question our IQ. But hey, isn't the beauty of gaming one moment you're saving the world and the next you're trying to figure out why the damn lever won't pull? So this year has given us heartbreakingly beautiful stories, mind-blowing graphics, and a reminder that gamers are some of the most passionate, creative, and slightly unhinged people out there. Whether it was laughing at glitches, raging at difficulty spikes, or shedding a tear at the end of a campaign, we've done it all together. So as we look ahead at 2025, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in, sending in your comments, your critiques, and your memes. Thank you for being part of this journey, whether you've been here since the first episode, or you just stumbled in because you misclicked. You're the reason Gamer Chronicles exists. Well, you and my caffeine addiction. I did want to say alcohol, but let's not go there. I'm not addicted to alcohol. So here's to more late night gaming sessions, more epic adventures, and hopefully fewer updates that take longer than an RPG final boss fight. So stay safe, stay kind, and most importantly, keep gaming. And remember to subscribe, and if you enjoy the episode, share it with everyone. So this has been Gamer Chronicles, the podcast where pixels tell stories and gamers become legends. So I'm Aden, signing off for the year, so see you in 2025, you beautiful nerds.